Starting off, we're going to take the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot and we're going to just prime our eyelids with this. And as you guys can tell, this is most likely the only primer that I use for my eyelids. And I'm just going to pat that in. And then I'm going to add a piece of paper tape to the edges of my eyes. I usually use a Scotch tape, that's fine, but the paper tape is more comfortable. Then I'm going to go into this Morphe 12P palette. I'm going to use that lime green and then those two blues. And then I'm going to add that forest green shade to the outer part of my eye. Using a Wet n Wild blender brush, I'm going to take those two blues and I'm going to blend those into my crease. Every time I lay the color down, I will go back into that green or the brush that I used previously, and I'm going to blend out the edges to make sure that everything is blended together and transitioning well. We don't want any straight lines, so we must blend, blend, blend. Then I'm going to take that darker blue, like I said, and I'm going to put this into the crease and make that crease a little more vibrant, brighter, darker, all those things. And then after this, I'm going to go back into that Morphe brush that I used with the lime green, and I'm going to blend over top those blues and that green just to make sure that everything is nice and blended together. Now I'm going to go and cut my crease. I'm going to take the MAC Prolonged Wear Concealer in NC15, and I put this on the back of my hand and I let it dry down a little bit before I go directly into it because I want the consistency to be a little more tacky. So I let it dry down a little bit. With this concealer, once it's set, it's not moving anywhere, and that's what I love about it. That's why I use this only to cut my crease. And the brush I'm using is a Morphe M242 brush, I think, and I'm just going to pat the concealer on and create that cut crease. Then I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to blend out the outer edge and the lid just to make sure that everything is nice and flat and ready to apply my pigment. And the pigment that I'm going to use is from MAC Cosmetics, and it's the vanilla pigment. I'm just place this all over my lid, and then once this is done, I'm going to go in and place the lime green shade that I used first to probably like the middle part of my eye, and I'm going to use the Morphe M506 brush to do that. Then taking that first light blue shade, I'm going to place that next to the green, and then I'm going to take that second blue shade and place that next to the blue, and then I'm going to take that forest green shade in that Morphe 12P palette, and I'm going to place that on the outer V just to darken up the outer part of my eye. Going into my Inglot gel liner in the number 77, I am going to create a wing, and the brush that I'm using is a painting brush, and I got this from Hobby Lobby. I think there was like 5 or 6 brushes in a package, and it was like $4.99, and these brushes are everything. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to Hobby Lobby and grab me another pack because this brush for liner is amazing. Anytime you are creating a wing liner, you always want your lines to be straight, but seeing how the universe doesn't always allow that, yeah, I messed up badly on my other eye. The liner was so thick. And this one, I just spent more time, and I just took my time, and it still took me a long time. But just work on your wing liners. All I can say is practice, practice, practice. And as you get more advanced, it gets easier, but you will have some days you struggle. So, because I definitely have struggle days, and days where it's perfect, the lines is perfect, and I have days where they just don't look the same, one going up, one going down. But yeah, so as you saw, I lined my crease with the Lime Crime Lime Green liner, and then right now I'm adding some a glitter liner from NYX. It's a white one, and then I just added a J-Cat white glitter onto the lid just to give it a little shimmer, give it a little razzle dazzle. That's about it. And using tape to create a liner is always a good, like, beginner friendly thing. If you're not sure and how to do it, where to start, add the tape, take it off, and as you saw, it was like nice. For foundation, I'm using the NYX Total Control drops in the shade Sienna. I bought so many of these drops just to try and find my own, and I finally found my perfect shade, so I'm happy. And it was on sale at Walmart for $7. Yay! But anyways, I'm going in with my Milani Conceal Plus Perfect concealer that they just came out with. I actually like these concealers a lot, and I was lazy not to get up and get my beauty blender or beauty sponge damped and all that prepped. So I'm using this Kat Von D concealer brush to pat out my concealer. I don't like using brushes because it just takes too long to pat everything out, and when it comes to tedious stuff like this, I just want to get it over with. So that's what I did. And then I used the Wet n Wild sponge that they just came out with. It was not wet, it was dry, and I'm just going over to make sure that everything is nice and blended out and flat and even, and the edges are blended out. Then I went in and I set my concealer or highlighted areas with the Maybelline Super Stay pressed powder, and I think I used the shade Golden Caramel, that one right there. And that's something new that I've been doing, setting my under eyes with the foundation powder instead of the banana powder, and I kind of like it. It gives it much more coverage. And what I'm doing here is I'm setting the rest of my foundation with my Sephora Micro Smooth setting powder or face bake powder, and I'm just going over that face, making sure all that foundation is nice and set and it won't be going anywhere. Now I am contouring or bronzing, and I'm using the Bobbi Brown bronzer in Deep 4 on a Wet n Wild angled brush. I got this from Dollar Tree, and it was $1. Don't sleep on these Wet n Wild brushes. Taking a Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in Deep Tan or Medium Deep, I'm going to use this on another Wet n Wild blending brush, and I'm going to contour my nose or bring back the shape of my nose. I don't like to make my nose skinny. I don't want to change anything. I just want to enhance what I've already been blessed with. That's what I like. I don't like to look different. I don't want to pinch my nose. I don't want a Michael Jackson nose. I want RONISHA's nose, but I want it to look nice. And I use the Wet n Wild coconut setting spray to set my foundation and get all those powders melted into the skin, and then I sprayed that Wet n Wild blending sponge and I set underneath. I went over my under eye with that just to make sure the under eyes didn't look dry and cakey. I just went in with my LeBrons from Artist Couture, and that's what I used on my high points of my cheek. Then for the outer or the under eye to finish the eyes up, I use those same shades, the lime green, the blue, and then I put that forest green shade on the lash line. Can we like take a second to appreciate these lashes though? Oh my gosh. These lashes are so beautiful and they're so long, full, just gorgeous lashes. I have never wore lashes this long, and baby, I was living. I'll pop the Lucky Clover into the inner corners of my eyes. This is the Anastasia Moon Glow Child Kit. And yeah, my eyes were finished. I added my mascara, everything, put my wig on, tacked it down. We set. I'm taking a brown lip liner. It's Bittersweet from MAC Cosmetics. And then I'm using the Milani lipstick in the shade Adorable. I am loving this. I love it. Like, it was so nice. I love to do colors like I live. I be trying to do the natural looks and I just can't do it. So this is how everything came together. I am still horrible with lines, so my lines are horrible, but I'm working. I'm a work in progress. I'm getting it together. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to get it together. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.